welcome back to Deediets. I see somebody left a little something on my table outside. Let's go outside and check it out together. It's gonna be something good, I know that. This is great. Wow, isn't that really nice to go out your back door? And my neighbors had some fresh produce and they left it on my back table. I thought that was really nice. Now it's 3 peppers, so I'm going to stuff some peppers, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to stuff it with, and I think they're going to be absolutely delicious. You can either do this all vegetarian. I chose to have some cheese, so you can use maybe a vegetarian cheese if they have it. And I'm going to be using a little chicken stock, and you could always use vegetable stock. But I figured, let me do some stuffed peppers. I think they'll be delicious. Let's do the recipe together. Okay, so I cored the peppers, washed them and cored them. Pretty easy, huh? How beautiful are these? They're stunning. Oh, nothing better than fresh, fresh, fresh. And then, do you remember the garlic, the roasted garlic that we used on maybe a couple of days ago? Well, I had some left over in the refrigerator, so I figured I'm going to use that. Then I had just 1 tomato, a little tiny tomato, hanging around. I cubed it up and I put a little salt in here just to get the juices to start running out of the tomato. In here, I have some apricots. Now, these apricots are a dried apricot. I took 4 of them. And then I had some golden raisins, and I took a couple of those. I would say maybe a tablespoon of golden raisins and a tablespoon of apricots. And then in that little surprise outside, there was also a yellow pepper. So I cut that up into small cubes. Easy. Then I had some wild rice. I want to see how this is. Well, I took a quarter of a cup of wild rice. It does take a long time to cook, just so that you know. It took about 45 minutes to cook the wild rice. This is the brand that I use. It's really good. It's a little on the expensive side. It's about $6 for the pound, but a little goes a long way. So let's get started. I think I'm just going to use a measuring cup because I think it's so much easier to put all the ingredients in. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those tomatoes in. Then I'm going to take the apricots, the raisins, and the peppers, and I'm going to put those in the bowl. Then I'm going to take the garlic that we had, that I roasted off not too long ago, and I'm just going to stick whole cloves right in because I'm going to smush it up when I mix it. Oh, this roasted garlic smells so good, everybody. It really, really does. The longer you roast garlic, and if you don't know how to roast garlic, you just have to cut the top of the garlic off, drizzle a little olive oil, cover it in tin foil, place it in the oven, and you'll have beautiful roasted garlic. It's so easy, and it's so good, and it's sweet. So I put about 3 cloves in. That's all we have left now in here. So at least we used up our roasted garlic. Then what I'm going to put in is I'm going to just take the wild rice and I'm going to stick that in the cup. How simple. And then we'll give it a mix. Ooh, let me wipe my hands. Now I'm just going to mix up all the beautiful, oh my God, vegetables and fruit. And so you can imagine how nutty and delicious this is really going to be. And really, it's vegetables. It's really vegetables with a quarter of a cup of dried, and that's what it was, dried wild rice, and then I cooked it in a cup of water, drained off the water, and that was it. And I've now, since I've mixed this around, The garlic is dispersed. It's broken up. You could have mashed it before you put it in, but I knew it was so soft that it would just blend in together. Inside this, I'm going to stick some nicely ground black pepper. See how easy this is? Wait till I show you what I'm going to serve it on. And I'm going to take a little bit of salt. You know what? I'll put the salt in my hand to let you know that this is going to be 1/4 teaspoon. There we go. Right in. And we're just going to mix it all up. You know, you can smell that roasted garlic. Oh, it just smells wonderful. It really does. Oh my goodness. How colorful is this? And you know what? If you wanted to, and if you had any left over, you could eat it just right like this. Put it in between some lettuce leaves, and you'd have a beautiful salad, or just toss it into a salad. Just magnificent. Okay, so we're going to take our peppers, and we're going to fill those peppers up. Now, I don't want you to pat it down. I want you to loosely fill in. That's really what I want you to do. Just loosely put it in. Ooh, it's dripping and dripping all over the place. Here we go. I think using a measuring cup instead of taking a big bowl out was just easier for me. We have one more thing that we have to stick on, but that's in my refrigerator. Oh, wow, that looks really good. I think it was just enough to fill the 3 peppers, which is ideal. Oh, my, isn't that lovely? I wish you could smell it because it's all so fresh and delicious. I smell the tomatoes. Oh, my goodness. All right, only one more thing. What's that? This is fresh mozzarella. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fresh mozzarella and I'm going to just stick it on top. Honestly, I think I overcut too much of it. But again, you could always snack on it. I bought a buffalo, but you can buy a nice cow's milk mozzarella. It's nice and soft. That's what I like about it. But you could also use feta cheese. I'm not a feta cheese person. I don't like it. So you can put that on top. Look how marvelous. That's marvelous. How easy was that? And now I'm going to take a little chicken stock. Now, if you're someone that's a vegetarian, you can use a vegetable stock. And instead of using a cow's milk cheese, you can use a soy cheese. And we're going to take this, and we're just going to put it on the bottom of the pan. Yes, we are. There we go. I would say it's about a cup. And that's all I had left in here. These are the things I'm getting rid of in my refrigerator as I go along. I'm also going to put a little olive oil in. Now, olive oil, there's 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to easily just drizzle that olive oil over the peppers, inside the cavity of the pepper, a little on the outside. And I'm just going to put it around the pepper, a little around this. There we go. Because, of course, it's going to cook and it's going to shrink. Oh, my goodness. And whatever's remaining, I just put in with the stock. Now, look how beautiful these are. I have to give you an overall shot of this. Wow. Aren't they beautiful? And so easy. Did you see how simple that was? It really was simple. And now we're going to bake in a 350 degrees preheated oven. And in about 45 minutes, we'll check on them. And they should be done. But I have another surprise. Okay, now we put them in the oven. We put a little tin foil on the top of the pan. Very loosely, though. Not tight, you know what I'm saying, where you would pull it really tight. Just loosely put some tin foil over the top and put it in the oven for about 45 minutes. I will check it after a half an hour. And as long as my cheese is melted, all the vegetables has then, come together, and then the pepper itself has gotten very soft, I'll know they're done. Now I have another thing I'm going to show you and what I'm going to put underneath that pepper. So really, this is going to be another meatless meal, but a really healthy one. So while the peppers are cooking in the oven, Earlier, I roasted, do you know what this is? Spaghetti squash. Delicious. Easiest thing to make. What you're going to do is, and I'm going to tell you what I did. When I was in the grocery store, I asked the grocer, would you mind splitting this? Because I'll take off a finger. I mean it. Because they're really hard skin. And I said, could you just slice this in half? And you know what? He took it in the back, he wrapped it back up, and he sliced it for me, which I thought was really nice. And if you do ask, they will do it for you. What I did was take a piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet, and then I laid them down on their flesh, and then I just put them in the oven. I didn't do anything else to them. That's all I did. And when the juices started to run out, and you'll see that the juices run out, is when I pierced it with a fork, and I went, it's fork tender, it's perfect. And you should smell these. They smell absolutely wonderful. I did put a tablespoon of butter between the two of them, just so that you know. And now we'll scrape it. And when those peppers are done, guess what we're going to put it on? We're going to put the peppers on a bed of the spaghetti squash. You know, I don't understand why I can't say that correctly. But don't you think that's going to be delicious? I think it's going to be absolutely delicious. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? It's like mashed potatoes, guys. I think I'm going to just use it like a mashed potato. Oh my goodness, does this look fabulous. Maybe I overcooked it too long, but it looks like a beautiful mash of sweet potatoes. That's really what it looks like. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, it smells wonderful. Oh, that is such, it's you know, it's the fall now. And now is when all this stuff is such at its peak. The peppers, the acorn squash, the butternut squash. Oh my gosh. My mouth is watering. So delicious. And I'm just scraping it right out. Oh my goodness. Does this look fabulous? I won't even need the other one. That's fantastic. I'll use that for another day. Oh, great. Oh my gosh. That's great. Push that aside. Wow. Look at this. Now tell me that doesn't look like mashed potatoes. At least sweet potatoes that have been mashed or yams that have been mashed. Oh my gosh. That looks so good. We're going to add a little salt. And we already put a little butter in here. You could add more if you'd like. I'm going to give it a taste. And I'm going to see what it tastes like. If it needs a little bit more salt, I'll put a little bit more salt in. Again, that's up to your flavor. And let me just put a little black pepper in here. Now, at this point, if you're someone that would say, you know, Denise, I would love to have a little cinnamon in here along with some brown sugar, go right ahead. But I'm not putting that in because I'm really making the stuffed peppers. And it's more savory than it would be sweet. Fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to try a little of it. I'm going to put a little in my dish and just check it out. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. You know, when you roast a vegetable, it becomes really sweet, naturally sweet on its own. And I have to tell you, if you serve this as, like, say, mashed jams, or you took this and you did put the cinnamon and the brown sugar in here, I don't think anybody would know that this is not potato. This is delicious. And it took no time to roast. Wow. You really need to give this a try. I think I'm going to make like something with this, the other half. I think I'll make something sweet, like a sweet dessert with it. Maybe tomorrow. That is so good. You're really going to like it. Okay, so I'm going to clean up. And I'm going to let those peppers cook. And then when we come back, we'll serve them. We'll taste them. And the house is starting to smell really good. All right, I'll be back and we'll get to see what it looks like. Well, something smells really good in the oven. Just grabbing a mappina. In Italian, it's a dish rag. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's take them out. Woo, that pan is hot. So what we're gonna do is pierce it. Oh, it's tender. The peppers are tender and perfect. I have to show you an overall shot of this. Don't they look spectacular? Do you see how the cheese melted inside? Oh my good, it's gonna taste delicious, guys. Let's give it a shot. It's gonna be good. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the butternut squash. I'm gonna put that on. I took a small plate, okay? Now at this point, if you wanted to add more butter to your butternut squash, you most certainly can. But I think it's sweet and delicious just on its own with just a tablespoon of butter that I used for the whole entire thing. Now I'm going to grab a pair of tongs and I'm going to grab one of these. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, there we go. How to get them. Oh my gosh. Can you see this? Do you see them? It is beautiful. It is, first of all, it is so colorful. And how do we eat? With our eyes. There's no doubt. And I need to get a fork. And of course now we'll taste some of the butternut squash with a little bit of the pepper juice dripping on that too. That is delicious. Now let's dig into the pepper. You see the melted mozzarella? Melted so perfectly. Oh my goodness. We have to try. It's hot. This is delightful. Absolutely delightful. So good. Now seriously, if you would have this as a dinner meal, you might want to do 2 of these. I don't think you need to though. The butternut squash is absolutely fantastic. You would think you were having sweet potatoes that were mashed up, which is fantastic. The pepper is so succulent. It is cooked so well. Now, I will tell you, when I cooked everything inside here is soft and cooked so well. Look at the cheese. Don't you just want to run right out and do this? It is so good. I have to take another bite. The tomatoes, the peppers, the garlic, oh, the wild rice. Absolutely delicious, absolutely colorful, no doubt about it. I hope you guys try this. Seriously, vegetables and a meatless meal. Have a great day, everybody. I hope you give it a try. Remember, be kind to one another. The heart, that's all that matters. Wow, is this ever good? I do hope you try it. It's fantastic, just fantastic. Bye-bye, everybody.